Hawk are 104 Hawk are in the service of Indian Air Force. Sepcat Jaguar, this is already we have considered. Another category is let's say UAV and helicopters. There are 4 different categories, and basically U stands for unmanned, A stands for aerial, V stands for vehicle. So UAV, that is unmanned aerial vehicle, right? You can write its full form, right? For your purpose, I will unmanned aerial vehicle. Unmanned aerial vehicle. Fine. So EVA, 4 different kinds of EVAs are being used. So if you consider crew, anybody, just apply your sense of humor and tell me. Or any other name in general you can give to these particular vehicles. Yes, Adish is okay. A little bit you are close to it. Yes, Ayush is saying drones. Okay, somebody else. And another question is that.
So what was the question?
First question was that what is the crew, right? Or how many, or simply what consists the crew, right? In UAVs, and what could be the another name which you can give to these unmanned aerial vehicles? Okay, Ayush is saying crew will be roughly say 4 members. Anybody else?
Sir, can you explain again anywhere that UAV?
No, I haven't touched to
Why, sir, your voice is breaking.
of this particular part. I have just given emphasis on this particular words, right? याच्यापेक्षा जास्त मी काही सांगितलं नाही. So till now I haven't touched any of these 4 aircrafts, right? Just by this name, if you could sense, or if you could guess what exactly it could be, that I wanted to check, nothing else. Right. So Ritesh is saying, okay, it's a remotely piloted aerial system, and therefore there will be no crew. Right. Nakul is again saying the same thing, right? RPAS, RPS. So you just pay attention to this particular word, unmanned aerial vehicle. So no doubt these are called drones, right? In general, whatever we understand, right? But my first question was, what about crew? Will it have a crew or no? So answer is, some of already you have given the answer. You can consider unmanned.
No
If
crew.
it is if it is unmanned, then how there would be the crew, right? So it is automatically, or you can say remotely operated, right? But unmanned, there will be at all, there will be no crew, there will be no person, right? There will be no man inside the aircraft, right? So that is what I was expecting, unmanned aerial vehicle. So very first one is say IAI Harup, right? IAI Harup. Now, if you see towards these UAVs, right? Again, it is basically the category of the aircraft, right? Without a human pilot on the board. So these systems, which will be including additional of communication. So that is what you can consider. It is called unmanned. Now, in this particular case, as I said, very first one is IA, I Harup would be the first, say, UAV.
Hello, sir.
It's in my head. Yes.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Chimay has written some. Huh?
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
See, this particular question, I don't know what I should do now. Even I have connected the wired network. Probably there might be some fluctuations in the connectivity network. So that is troubling the connectivity. I hope it is. Okay. So if I could not heard at all, then you can let me know. Right. Probably I may repeat some of the part.
Sir, your voice is clear now.
So IA. Okay, fine. IAI Harup, thank you. If you consider this particular aircraft, which is made up of Israel, right? In fact, in this particular category, out of four, three are made by or designed and developed by Israel, but their purposes are different, right? So IAI Haruf, which is used for loitering the munition, right? Now, if you consider this particular aircraft, which is developed by Israeli Air Force, Israeli Air Space Industries. So it is an anti-radiation drone that can be automatically or autonomously home in on radio emissions, right? So this particular aircraft is optimized, loitering kill and attack targets by self-destructing into them, right? And that is what you can consider. So loitering munition, it will identify the, it will try to destruct them at you at its own. That is what self-destructing, right? And because of this, it is called loitering munition type of aircraft. So the drone can either operate fully autonomously, right, using its anti-radar homing system, or it can take a human in the loop of the mode. Right? That means what? The control. So both the things are possible, right? From the ground, you can control it, or you can program it, and accordingly, it will, with the help of the signal sensed by the sensors, it will launch the munition at its own. So both the things or both the modes of operation are available with this particular aircraft. So if a target is not engaged, then the drone will return and land itself back at base again. So this is what you can consider. So how it would be sensing, right? Because it might be having the let's say signals by anything, right, from the what you can consider from the uh, surface, right? But suppose, for example, it has a signal which is picked up by its sensor by the tree. So obviously, putting munition or bombarding on tree is not going to help. Now, how it will identify that it is a tree and it should not be putting any kind of munition on that tree. Rather, it should be finding out the tank, it should be finding out, let's say, the missile, right? Or it should be finding out the guns. So this kind of intelligence is incorporated in this one, that is with the help of the sensors. So how it is based on? So basis for such kind of findings is nothing but the different kinds of sensors. For example, radiation sensors you can consider, right? So in order to find out the ammunition, in order to find out the tank, right? In order to find out kind of missiles. So obviously these will be depending on the nuclear radiations. Such kind of different sensors are integrated in this particular system, and with the help of that system, it is in mind this particular point, which is really important, right? So it has been uh, designed to minimize the radar signature through the stilt, and because of this, the anti-radiation drone is designed to target enemy air defense systems in the first line of attack, right? Keep in mind. So as the small drone can evade and radar detection systems, which can design to target fixed trajectory missiles, right? Fine. So that's what you can keep in mind that. So why here the quantity is not written? Any of the answers? Again, you have to apply your sense of humor.
हे देव पहा हे पण देव पहा
Yes, Nakul is saying there are many, Adesh is saying there are many, exactly. Right. But what could be the reason? Many means obviously, no doubt, your answer is absolutely correct. Right. So I'm leaving this particular question to you, that you have to find out, right, why there are many, or earlier question, why the number is not here, right? So what would be the reason behind it? You can find out. Anyway, next one is IAI Heron, right? Another aerial vehicle, right? IAI Heron. So as far as uh, Heron is concerned, right? Again, it is Israel origin. It is used for the purpose of surveillance, and it's a medium altitude, long endurance unmanned aerial vehicle, which is developed by Israel Aerospace Industries. Journey. Uh, it is again developed by the same agency that was which has developed IAI Harop. It is capable of medium altitude, long endurance operations, right? And it can work up to 52 hours duration, right? Again, it will be covering the range of 10.5 kilometers. Uh, it has 52 hours of continuous flight capacity, right? Which is what you can consider once it get take off, then it will be working for 52 hours. It's an advanced version, uh, and therefore it is also called as or also known as the ITAN, right? EITAN. So if you consider this particular uh, say IAI Heron, then you will be knowing that its use, its basic purpose is to surveillance, right? For the purpose of surveillance, it is being used. Keep in mind, right? So there are such 68, uh, let's say, aircrafts in the service. Next one is IAI Searcher. So another, in its name itself, you can consider. So it's a searcher, right? So another UAV, which is of Israel origin, used for the purpose of surveillance, right? And these many quantities are in the service. So IAI Searcher, uh, if you consider its basic purpose is for the reconnaissance, right? And uh, for that purpose, it is being used. And the last in this category, that is what our own development, that is by uh, DRDO, right? Which is called DRDO Lux. So designed and manufactured by India. It is for the purpose of uh, target, right? Till now, 39 quantities are in the service currently, right? So that is what you can uh, consider. Now, as far as Lakshya is concerned, in an Indian armed Indian Armed Forces, right? So as you already know that it is remotely operated high-speed target drone system, right? Which was developed by DRDO. DRDO stands for Defense Research and Development Organization, right? So this is used to perform discrete aerial reconnaissance of battlefield as well as target acquisition, right? So it is uh, servicing. It is doing the task of surveillance as well as it is uh, acquiring the targets, right? And that is what you can consider target drone. It is known as, obviously, its manufacturer is HAL, right? Though it was developed by DRDO, but actual manufacturing is being carried out in the HAL. Now, this drone is operated by ground control stations and that will provide the realistic operation, right? Because of that, the aerial sub targets for live fire training are also being carried out. This particular drone uh, can be launched from ground or from the ship, right? So this is another feature you can have in this particular Lux. Uh, it can be recovered by a two-stage parachute system. So for land or let's say for sea-based recovery, so this drone has a crushable nose cone, which will be absorbing the impact of landing, minimizing damage, right? So whatever you will be having in this particular aircraft. So because of this, the flight path may be controlled or pre-programmed, right? Depending on what type of mission you are carrying with the help of this particular, let's say, aircraft. So it is being used by Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, right? So till date, and obviously, RDO is also using this for the purpose of training, right? So DRDO Lux, right, developed by, let's say, okay, someone was asking question, what is full form? Yeah, see, I think someone has also given the Israeli Aerospace Industries, right? Israeli Aerospace Industries would be the IAI. This one is as like HAL, right? So HAL or as like here now DRDO Lux, right? Likewise IAI. So Israeli Aerospace, let's say, industries you can consider. Fine. So this is what the DRDO's Lux, right? So altogether, these are the 4 different kinds of unmanned aerial vehicles which are being used for the different purposes, right? For loitering munition, for the purpose of surveillance, and for the purpose of surveillance as well as attack or targeting that particular target. So these are the different things which are involved in this. Last one is historical aircraft. So obviously, though we are, I have put here the historical aircrafts, but there are so many historical aircrafts we can find out. So whatever may be the aircrafts which are being retired or who have done exceptional tasks in any of the war or in any of the operation, but got damaged because of continuous hitting by enemy. So such aircrafts are also in this particular category, right? So these are not only these 2 aircrafts, even there are some of the MiG, right, aircrafts from the MiG family which are being placed at different locations, which you can consider as in the museum, or you can consider of historical kind of aircrafts, right? So this is what you will be having in this category. Okay, now I will okay, let's go to the next part, and that is related to Indian Navy, right? So third branch of Indian Armed Forces, right, which is called Indian Navy. Now you can see something different, but covering another aspect, right? Something different, but covering another aspect. So already we have considered 2 securities, that is land security and aerial security, right? Now water security or the coastal kind of securities, that would be the third thing which is really important for the security of any of the nation, right? So that is what you can consider. I will be rapidly going through this particular part, right? So as much as the time we have spent to Indian Air Force, likewise that I will not be going in the Navy. Probably we will see the different sections, right? For example, what kind of equipments Navy is having, what kind of active ships are there. So that will be the separate part, or separate session will be there for that purpose, so that it will not be consuming large timing. Uh, Someone has put a mic unmute. Will you make it mute? Prabhakar, will you put your mic mute? Some Sai and Prabhakar. I don't know who's. I think they have kept lecture on and probably doing something else. Rushikesh sir, will you make everyone mute? Okay, I hope. Yes, I was talking about a third aspect or third approach of security, right? And for that purpose, you will be coming across such kinds of different scenarios, right? Okay. Another view or another kind of thing which is being involved in this, right? And that is what you will be having here, right? Fine. Now, yes. In fact, here I should have asked you a question anyway. So if you consider the rank in the world, right, about this particular armed wing or armed force, as far as India is concerned. So as like we have considered the Indian Army and Indian Air Force, which are at number 4, right, or they are acquiring 4th place in the world as far as the strength is concerned. So overall strength I'm talking about, not only the ranking is always being done on the basis of number of personnel, right? How many active personnel you are having in that particular armed force. Again, depending on that, you can categorize, right? So overall, if you consider it is seventh largest navy in the world, right? Though it is 5th largest navy by the active personnel, but overall you can consider 7th largest. So if question is there, you should read it carefully, right? Whether question is simply for its let's say position, so obviously 7th largest. Depending on personnel, it is 5th largest. Fine, so that you can consider. So this is what one of the let's say drills which are being performed on the naval day, right? So for that drill or march, it is given, right? Even you can consider uh, Republic Day parade as well, right? Wherein you will be coming across these kinds of parade or the march. Fine. Now, if you okay. Obviously, it was established by British while India was in a colony. How many of you are believing that it is true that it was established by Britain? Right. So at this moment, I will tell you one thing, that as like you have got the answer who is number 1, 2, 3, right? In the Air Force and Army, as like that, you have to find out who are the rank holders prior to India in the Navy in the world, right? So that you will come to know the first 6 rank members.
So first is China, second is USA, third is Russia, fourth is France, and the fifth is Japan, sixth is United Kingdoms, and seventh is Indian Navy.
So you can see these different names, right? So in which someone is saying South Korea, right? So please recheck it or verify it carefully, because here you have no excuse to change the position. So it is your responsibility. You should be correct. Anyway, my next question is that do you think that really it was established by Britain? What do you think?
No, sir. No, sir.
Right. Okay. Someone is saying that no. Then who must have?
That Shivaji Maharaj is called father of India.
Sorry.
Shivaji Maharaj.
Sorry.
Shivaji Maharaj is
Yes.
called father of
Exactly.
India.
Right. That is true. Right. Established by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Right. And to be precise, you must have heard the name Kanoji Ange.
Yes, sir.
That is what you can have in the history. Yes, history of the Navy. Right. Point you can keep in mind. Though here it is consider that no doubt whatever the today's form of the Navy that was that had come through the British, right? So then okay, it was developed in the when India was colony, and then Indian Navy, right, also known as Bharatiya Nausena, is a naval branch of the armed forces of India, right? Or you can consider one of 3 armed wings or the forces of India. In terms of, as I said already, in terms of personnel, it's 5th largest in the world, right? Which is presently operating more than 180 vessels, right, including different aircrafts, right? So vessels and whatever you can consider the ships or all these things, right? So that would be the point. Earlier it was known as Royal Indian Marine, right? Because right during the era of the ruling by Britain, it was called as the Royal Indian Marine, right? But after 1934, it was known as it, right? It was started to know as Indian Navy. Fine. That is what you can have in this particular case, right? So now, as far as its motto is concerned, right? Its motto is Shan no Varunaha. That is what? May the ocean god be auspicious unto us, right? So you can consider असतं ना आपण एखाद्या गोष्टीच्या संदर्भात कृतज्ञता व्यक्त करत असतो. So may the god, may the ocean god be auspicious unto us, right? That is what this particular 3 words, right? Shanno Varanaha. That is what the motto. So keep in mind the motto of Army, motto of Air Force, and motto of uh, Navy, right? So that is what you can always consider, or you should pay attention to these things. Next one is which was always being exclaimed, or which was always being thought by Jawaharlal Nehru, right? Who was saying that to be secure on land, we must be supreme at sea, right? So you will be wondering that to secure a land, right? Or to be secure on land. Obviously, it should be army, but why it is called supreme at the sea, right? So the example I will give you, that is 2008's attack, right? So whatever the attack which was being carried out in Mumbai at different hotels, right, at CSTM, right? So because the terrorists have arrived through the sea, and for that purpose you should be supreme at the sea, right? So to be secure on land, we must be supreme at sea, and that is really important. And I will tell you in some of the how in some of the operations, right? It is proved that yes, being supreme at sea will definitely secure the land, right? Okay, so it is only the, yeah. What is this one? Anybody?
Flag of Indian Navy.
Yes, sir.
Flag of Indian Navy. Okay. Another, any other answer? No doubt it is flag, right? But here I have put it as insignia, right? As like Indian Army, Indian Air Force is having insignia. Likewise, this is insignia for Indian Navy, right? What is this one?
Motto of Indian Navy.
Indian Navy. Indian Navy badge.
Yes, logo for Indian Navy, right? So it's a logo you can see here, there, and this is what the flag you can consider, right? No doubt. So it's the flag. One more point. What did we, this one?
Indian national flag.
Indian national flag. Okay, I will tell you. No doubt it is by virtue, you can say that it is the Indian national flag, but it is naval jack. What is this naval jack that you should understand, right? So, you know, I think in one of the helicopters, you have seen this particular flag, right? At the time of IFR or one of the let's say exercises, right, by the helicopter of Indian Navy, where this has been used. Or the correlation I can tell you about this, which is nothing but the say this particular find, this particular let's say identity, and which is called fin flash. So this fin flash is on the aircrafts, right? Already you have seen that particular point. So likewise, right? Likewise, fin flash, there will be the naval jack, right? So this is another identity you can consider related to any of the ship that it is of India's ship, right? Or corresponding to or relevant to the fin flash. Only thing is that fin flash is for the Air Force, right? So which is nothing but a part of, let's say, markings of the military aircrafts, fine, particularly national military aircrafts, fine, because you will be saying that simply it is aircraft means what? It will be commercial, right? It depends on, again, in commercials you might be finding out different kinds of film flashes, right, as of their companies. Okay, I hope everyone is identifying or able to identify this person, this personality, right? So obviously, who is this? Okay, here is a question that, sir,
Chief
why?
of Naval Staff.
Okay, that's fine. Now,
Karambir Singh, I think.
uh,
No, sir.
Yes. So you have to recheck the name. Right. Yeah, the question is that, sir, why would Indian national flag placed at 1/4 of Army, Navy, and Air Force flag? Okay, very good question, but I will put it for all others. Right. So you just think on it, and very simple thing. There is no rocket science in this particular question. Right. Only thing is that you have to apply your sense of humor, and then you will be come up with the exact and the solid answer. Right. So the chief of naval staff, who is commander, right, and obviously the highest ranking officer for Indian Navy. So his position is always abbreviated as chief of naval staff, CNS, in Indian Navy, right, and usually held by a 4-star officer. So rank you can consider here, right? You can see here. Obviously, you will be coming across these particular things, right? The rank and obviously the stars, right? Currently Sunil Lamba, right? Who is the admiral, right? That particular superior post you can consider, or the chief of naval staff is also called as the admiral, right? So who is Sunil Lamba? Fine. Okay. There are different things. I will just tell you. Annexation of Goa, right?
Sir,
In which
can,
in
so can you
sorry.
show last slide for a second?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Fine. Right. Already you know something about annexation of Goa. Annexation of Goa, Navy has also played its role, right? So I will not tell about Operation Vijay, but obviously it was, during that the Portuguese colony was there, and obviously they were having its navy. So against this, Indian Navy had worked out, right, and that was its operation. You can consider. Next, Indo-Pakistan War of 1971. Again, at that time, I said that not only Indian Air Force but also Indian Army as well as Indian Navy have played their role in liberating the Bangladesh. That is of Indo-Pakistan War of 1971, right? In which they have used or they have seized the operations, right? After you can consider Karachi port become unusable due to the sinking of right, these particular things. And so this particular successful blockade of East Pakistan by Indian Navy proved to be a vital factor in surrendering the Pakistan at eastern side, right? So that is one what you can consider in the Indo-Pakistan War of 1971, right? It is having its own, let's say, commandos, as like Indian Army is having its commandos, Indian Air Force is having commandos. So Navy is also having its commandos, and that is what you can consider Marcos.
Now,
Right? So Marcos is the commando you will be considering. Right here. Okay, I think we are running out of the time, so I will just put this as a last slide, and we will conclude. So in general, right, or to summarize in a single slide, you can consider. So what is the basis why we are, or on what basis we are ranked 7th largest in the world? So this is what you can consider the strength: 280 ships, 3,700 aircrafts, 3,35,000 active sailors, right? 1,28,000 reservists. So you can consider these things, and depending on this, you can rank the Indian Navy as far as the strength is concerned, right? So this is what we have altogether for Indian Navy, right? Obviously, no doubt there are some of the things, as I said earlier, that I will be separately going for the ships. I will be separately going for the aircrafts. I will be separately going for obviously commandos. So once we go for commandos, at that time we will be considering all the commandos from Air Force, commandos from Army, and obviously Marcos, right? That is what, no doubt, we will be including the NSGs, right, or paras, all these things, fine. So this is what, just to wind up this particular point called Indian Armed Forces, right? So you can have these things. Anyway, I will stop here. If anything which you would like to ask, you can ask.
Anyone have any query? Then he can ask. Sir.
Yes. Okay, whatever your question, that why Indian flag is placed, right, that we will discuss in next session. Till then, I wanted everyone to be think on this particular point, because
sir.
I'm not able to see this particular question. What is this? What is the full form of HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited? Probably he might have joined today or maybe yesterday. I don't know. Anyway, okay. Thank you, everyone. I will be leaving.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Students, don't go anywhere. You have to continue with the another lecture, mathematics. Wait for that. Don't go anywhere.